How you feel about it? 504-582-9422 is my number to get your comments in and talk about it. Now, what a lot of folks did yesterday, which I was stating, it is the fact that they watched it and they were like pissed. They were like, no, we gonna say something about it. So we have seen that folks are upset, or they're like, are you all kidding? Are your priorities together? Because it sounds like to me that they're not. And people got something to say. Other folks, because I got to get both sides, other folks are saying, well, guess what? I think it's beautifulness. I think it's purty. And we need that ambiance in our city to make us look good. Do we? And how you feel about it? So what I did say I was going to do today was to read a lot of these posts that have come out. Because I just wanted to see what people are saying. And boy, I should have thought twice before I put that on my Facebook page and leave the notifications on last night, because I was awakened about 15 times from people that was posting. I was like, do y'all sleep? Do you all go to sleep? Because y'all were getting it in. There were some short answers, but there was a whole lot of dissertations. Thesis. And I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, okay, so we're going to have to read a lot of these things just because people want to hear it. People want to get it in. And I don't know if you are or you're not being heard. Was this a project that was discussed by the people? Well, what you mean, Gerard? Was it a project? Nope. This was not a project that was discussed by the people. This was, and I don't want to say shoved down your throat, but this was a project that we found out about when they announced it. Like, this is what's going to happen. And if you didn't like it, I would say too late. Because it's on now. Am I wrong? It is. It's on now. So what you expect? Now, I'm telling everybody now, make sure that you got your Facebook Live on, because if you haven't seen it lit up, we got some video for you to be able to see how beautifulness that it is, so that you'll be able to judge and what you think. Me, I just sat back and said, the traffic is what's getting me. the shutting down of the lanes, the traffic. And then has anybody talked about the folks that got killed on that bridge during this time? They just had one this week. Was it this week or last week? I think it was last week. They just had one. Well, what you talking about, Gerard? The newsman from WGNO 26 was on a motorcycle. Somebody hit him. He was killed instantly. Hmm. I'm just thinking to myself, do we or do we not have $10 million and another $10 million that we're going to end up paying in maintenance that we could use wiser. Not wisely, but wiser. And how you all feel about it. So, get on Facebook Live so that you can see. Just in case you haven't seen it lit up. I don't know what you are doing if you have not seen it. But if you were trying to see it lit up, we got the video for you. We'll play that. And I need you to call me and tell me, $10 million, is it worth it? I should say 20 million. Is it worth it? So what we'll do here, we'll take the break. We'll take the break first. Let's take the break first, Jazz, and then we'll come back. And we'll come back to the story, play some video for the folks to be able to see this lit up. I'll read some of these Facebook page posts that you all have put on my own personal Facebook page as well and get up the conversation. All right? So 504-582-9422. Go ahead on and light up the phones, and we'll get to you as soon as we get back from playing some commercials, paying some bills. More coming up next right here on WBOK.
Find us online. Did you know that you can now listen to your favorite show whenever you want? How? Just go to www.wbok1230.com. Click on the Talk tab and select your favorite show. There you'll see your favorite host and the show from each day. And be sure to follow us on Facebook at WBOK1230AM, Instagram at WBOK.1230, and TikTok at WBOK1230AM.
Discover the Leah Chase School, NOLA Public School's first new direct-run traditional public school in nearly 2 decades. We offer excellence in math, science, English, and social studies, focusing on unlocking every child's potential. Every scholar receives a personal device, regular assessments, clear family communication, as well as transportation services in a nurturing, arts-inclusive environment. Secure your child's K through 5th grade slot today. Apply at enrollnolaps.com and embark upon a unique educational journey.
Join us Thursday morning, May 23rd at 8:20 a.m. United Healthcare goes live on the Good Morning Show. Tune in to hear United Health's Dr. Morrell talk about Mental Health Awareness Month and important health tips. That's Thursday morning, May 23rd at 8:20 a.m. on the Good Morning Show.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor. We're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
Hello, I am Bishop Fred A. Caldwell Sr., host of the Know Your Bible International radio broadcast, which is heard here on WBOK 1230 a.m. each Sunday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. So join me here for a blessing, won't you?
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon to What's Growing New Orleans. Hosted by Angel Vanderpool, What's Growing New Orleans is a weekly conversation about developing and growing Black businesses throughout the region. Brought to you by the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. All right, here's my number, 504-582-9422. That's 504-582-9422. I keep giving you out the number because I know that in just a minute here, the lines will get full, and then I'll start getting text messages from folks saying, I'm trying to call you, but I can't get in. So I try to light up the lines a little bit quicker than normal because of the fact that I know we got a lot of people that's going to try to get in. So I posted a photo on my personal Gerard G. Man Stevens page of the Crescent City Connection, the bridge from the East Bank, New Orleans to the West Bank of New Orleans. And anybody that crosses that bridge or both of those bridges, either you're going from the east to the west or the west to the east, you have been subject to traffic messes. You have been subject to delays that could end up being hours at a time because they have workers that are out there, no fault of their own, installing a light package that's decorative, colorful lights on the bridge. That package of lights is actually $10 million. And then another $10 million will go toward maintenance over the years. I've looked at some of the posts because I posted it and I forgot to turn my notifications off last night, so y'all were waking me up all night. I was like, do these folks sleep? As some of you have taken it really to heart that, that this isn't now happening. But let me be the first to say, if no one has said it to you, I'm just doing this conversation just because it's already up. It's already happening. They spent the money. But have you had a chance to see what I'm talking about? And then what good does it do the city? Is it just for the Super Bowl? Is it just for a few days of decorative nonsense? Is it to better the city? Does it help us with the ambiance and what the rest of the world will see us through their lens during Mardi Gras? What do you think? Not only Mardi Gras, but the Super Bowl. What do you think? All right, my number is 504-582-9422. Let's go and take a look at one of the stories that Fox 8 has done. Go ahead, Jazz.
Commuters using the Crescent City Connection should start seeing some relief from constant traffic headaches beginning next week.
It comes as DOTD begins testing the new LED lights on the bridge, and that's where we find our David Jones live with more.
Hey, good evening, Lauren and Meg. Yeah, we just passed all of the congestion and traffic that's backed up onto the Pontchartrain Expressway. We're coming up on the Crescent City Connection now, so I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can see what driver's perspective is now heading across the river toward the West Bank. These lights look amazing. We haven't found any drivers who have said otherwise, but this has been a lot of work. It's been a months-long process, and it's caused a lot of headaches, both for commuters and for drivers who are are constantly stopping in congestion and dealing with traffic whenever they're heading to the West Bank or to the East Bank. We spoke with some of those drivers today to get their perspectives, and we have a big update from DOTD.
I know you're trying to get the city ready for the Super Bowl, but you just can't inconvenience people's lives like that.
What's become a months-long traffic nightmare.
It makes no sense to me.
The kids are trying to get to school. Parents are late. School buses are late getting the kids to school. Individuals are late commuting to work.
May soon be coming to an end as DOTD plans to stop peak traffic time lane closures on the Crescent City Connection beginning next week. Drivers we spoke with say it's been a pain.
It's horrible that they're doing it at the most inconvenient time for commuters.
The streets in New Orleans has got potholes everywhere, but they worry about lights on a bridge.
Workers began testing the new lighting system recently, and the programmable lights are certainly dazzling.
We're proud for the state, we're proud for the DOTD, we're proud for the city, we're proud for the residents.
Scott Boyle, District Engineer Administrator for DOTD, says it was long overdue.
This project is replacing damaged and aged lighting infrastructure that had been in place for over 30 years that had been severely damaged during Hurricane Ida.
He says the type of work being done necessitated the lane closures.
Overhead work was to be commenced, and it was not feasible for traffic to be driving on those type of conditions where there were tools and heavy infrastructure that could cause any kind of safety concerns.
Boyle says the lanes reopening does not mean an end to the project, just a shift in focus to areas underneath the bridge, connecting the ground level with power sources. But he says he hopes traffic will improve for commuters.
We're anticipating the traffic will significantly decrease for commuters that are specifically traveling home to the West Bank in the evening time.
It's the Super Bowl's coming and the hype's about all that, but they going to the Superdome. They're not going to the bridge to look at lights.
Now, next week does not necessarily, again, mean an end to lane closures on the Crescent City Connection. If you are a nighttime driver on the bridge, you do want to be aware because those lane closures will continue as this project moves forward. But again, those big daytime traffic-heavy lane closures taking place will come to an end, which is going to be a relief for many drivers. The project itself is not scheduled to wrap up until December. For now, reporting live from the West Bank, David Jones, Fox 8, Local First.
All right, thank
Well, the vast cave system.
All right, folks, there you have it. That comes from Fox 8. We appreciate them for letting us use their audio here and their video. But what you think? Look, let's make something perfectly clear. No matter what I think, no matter what you think, it's up now. They testing the lights. It's up now. I just think that it's pretty asinine to have such a big project on this bridge and not have a conversation with the people of not only this parish, but Jefferson Parish as well on the bridge. Does that make sense? And then the benefit of it is this how the rest of the world is going to see us from now on? So I went on my Facebook page and I said, okay, let me get some of these folks to comment about what they saw. about what they think. And Lord, what I do that for? Because these comments were coming in all night long. I don't even know if I can read all of them. And some wrote real short answers. Others wrote paragraphs. And then others wrote dissertations. But I thought I was going to get all no's. No. Let me tell you why. I got a lot of those. I did. I really did. I got a lot of those. But it was interesting of the ones that I got from folks that said, yeah, it's worth it. Because it adds something to our skyline and it adds something to the ambiance of the city. We need stuff that's going to make us look good. Which was interesting to me, because I'm going to read a couple of them. Karen Celestan wrote, nope. Fix the water system. Fix the potholes. Fix the schools. Fix the financial inadequacies. Then put multicolored lights on a bridge that already had enough lighting for cars to cross safely. Miss Julie Fant replied. She said, I agree. Sharon Walker wrote on there, it makes the bridge pretty. It adds ambiance to the cityscape. And being a tourist town, it's apropos. Talisha Warren said $20 million on Christmas lights, and schools don't have AC. That's nasty work. My boy Cliff Dugar wrote, looks good. I know the state is paying for it, but the city has to maintain them. LED lights last a pretty long time. I know several young men that is in the first year of apprenticeship working with Fresher Electric, our largest union shop in the city, making $17 an hour, working 6 days, 10 hours a day, before they start class in September. Good experience and opportunity. Makes a good impression for a city that hosts so many large events, conventions, and festivals that this city depends on, whether we like it or not. Monica Taylor wrote, we need lights on the interstate. Julie Fant went back on the road again. SMH, shaking my head. All these damn raggedy streets here in the city, impressing the tourists with some lights. The city need to do better than this. Some lights. Charlotte Marie Jones wrote, yes, it adds more beauty to our city. We host many major events here in NOLA, so the attraction is quite warming. Pat Blasio wrote, just because they want to show off for the Super Bowl, then what we pay the annual light bill? I know they not taking them down after. We should have used the $20 million to buy new water pumps. We're drowning, figuratively and literally. Deborah Jones wrote, I like it. With all the nasty and dirty behavior in the city and state, I like it to light up our city. I'm aware we need a lot of work done, but now it's time to see some light in the midst of the tunnel, not at the end. Then you got Audie Dennis, who wrote, nope, the end of it. Morgan Clevenger said, nope. Honeydew Hash Shepherd sent up a meme that says, new lights on the bridge, with somebody in the middle that says City of New Orleans. And then, of course, on the other end, you got the older folks that say you got a 109-year-old sewage and water board turbine. Darlene Ross wrote, the question is, will they be able to maintain the lights, or will it start looking raggedy? If the city can afford the expense, sure. Chris Johnson wrote, hire more cops. It doesn't take 24 hours before cops show up at your house. Gina Montana wrote, plus $20 million to build affordable housing and advocacy to support the homeless community. Misguided priorities with this lights project. Cindy Muhammad wrote, I hope all the millions they receive from the Super Bowl, they can fix the streets and have some better schools. Who will maintain this after the Super Bowl? And Leslie Williams wrote, so we're getting Super Bowl ready, huh? No lights on my street. That's in the hood. Go figure. Miss Joan Million wrote, nope. Invest in drainage and keep the flooding and turn all the lights on the I-10. Trina Augusta wrote, nope. Fix the potholes. Jason Coleman wrote, a clear example of missed priorities of leadership and elected officials. Kristen Penn. She wrote, how about we fix these streets? Because if you don't have a mechanic problem, you will be riding on them. How about the education system? The answers to your question is no. Those resources could have gone to other more causes in the city. I wonder if the tourists will even notice it. Super Bowl Sunday is bringing so much to the city. How about a change that we, as the citizens of the city for over years and years, can benefit instead of the visitor? Patrice A. Williams Smith wrote, yes, as a resident of the West Bank who crosses the bridge daily, sometimes early morning and late nights in rain, fog, and even sleet. Yes. Shane Terry wrote, wonder where the money coming from to keep them, of course, on calls. When the toll stopped, they wanted to turn the lights off the bridge because they couldn't afford it. Barry Flint wrote, since the bridge belongs to the state of Louisiana, Louisiana never does nothing to enhance New Orleans. Hell yeah. Kim Marie Colson wrote, it's beautiful. Hopefully the potholes will be repaired. Oh my God. It's really ridiculous driving around in this city. And Linda Lewis wrote, hell no. We need housing, streets, water, electricity. We can't live on the bridge. And Charlene Jackson wrote, nope. Jimmy King wrote, imagine going to spend $20,000 on gold teeth when you need a surgery to live. That costs $15,000. Elena Wright wrote, nope, not my money. Maddie Womble wrote, nope, fix sewage and water board, fix my streets, fix Diamond Road, and the vacant and unoccupied blighted businesses. Offer the money to the residents of New Orleans for housing repairs and vocational training. Samarin Curley wrote, nope, they should have fixed those horrible streets. Miss Yvonne Scott wrote, I love it, but I don't live there. The people in the area know what's needed. Monique Jordan wrote, nope, the interstate up, fix the streets. When someone going to make a documentary and call out the city. T. Green wrote, not impressed, absolute foolishness. Tambourine Green wrote, new pumps, not shoes, not lights, pump out the water, pumps, not bridge lights. And Rebecca Ferrier wrote, my drain is worth more than that someone can help. My drainage is worth more than that. Can someone help me, please? Jacqueline Wilmore wrote, nope, not when we flood, everything is rain. So we got a lot of comments. I don't think that they're going to stop. But Jazz, I think we're going to have to do it today. We haven't done it in a while. Put up a poll. I think we're going to have to put up a poll.
What's the poll, G?
The poll is the Crescent City Connection Lighting Project.
Yeah or nay?
Yay or nay?
Gotcha.
So evidently, the powers that be are listening out of Baton Rouge. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hopefully y'all will be able to comment about this as well. I don't know what we're thinking. I don't know what our priorities are. That's why I asked the question instead of giving you the answer. My thought process. I wanted to hear more of what you think. Because at the end of the day, I think that we're going to run into some issues. If I have to prioritize how my city council disperses money, and I see $10 million continuously going to a lighting package that has no effect it doesn't do anything for the bridge. It doesn't hold the bridge up. Doesn't make it quicker going across the bridge. Doesn't sum up some of those potholes. It just doesn't do. But what does it do? It made the bridge purdy. It makes the bridge purdy. But it makes me look around and go, can somebody fix Franklin Avenue? Can somebody fix Franklin Avenue? How much that gonna cost? Can somebody fix Claiborne going to the Lower Ninth Ward? How much that gonna cost? Can somebody fix Harrison and let me see. Where is this at? Harrison at Canal. They've got the bricks that they have in the street, to make it look like it's cobblestone. They didn't come up, and there's plenty of them that didn't come up. so much to the point right there at that corner at Canal and Harrison that if you ain't paying attention, you will lose one of your tires if you hit that bump. It's an open hole. That's not a pothole. That's a crater. Let me see, where else? I got to tell you, I said I was going to not watch how I say this, but there's only one way to say this. I am so glad that the good folks from Rock of Ages, Jonathan, Pastor Jonathan, and Jonathan Everett, and Inspire NOLA, they're bringing TD Jakes to town, and they're thinking about doing, I think, some stuff over there at Franklin Avenue. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But then I thought about it, and I was like, them people gonna mess their cars up. Franklin Avenue is terrible. And it is. It is terrible. What you say, Mr. Buddy?
Hey, Gerard.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
What you got?
You know, dark bridge, lit bridge, safety issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to say something else. You know, they use drone shots kind of close to the bridge, and they use driving across the bridge. But, you know, the news media, they should have shot a few scenes from the distance, like Paris Road, the high rise.
Mm-hmm.
How does it look from a great distance as part of their news story? I just think that, and upriver, shot from upriver, downriver, like, you know, Metairie or what the expressway on the West Bank.
Mm-hmm.
How does it look driving in from there at night? I just think the news media didn't do a thorough job of reporting it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really wanted to say.
I was,
you know, it was not a good news story from that point of view.
I was actually coming from. I got a friend of mine that lives out in English Turn, and I was coming from his house. I'm thinking what day was that? Friday. I was coming Friday, and as you get over that overpass to go over the canal, and coming from English Turn,
Canal,
yeah. You get a chance to see the city from a distance from that view, and it was lit up then. So I'm at the top, probably at the top of that overpass, and I'm looking up and I see the lights on the bridge. Did it make me go, ooh? No.
Okay.
It did not. I mean, it looks. You are correct. It looks different from a distance. It just looks like light. So.
You know, I just think the news media could have done a better job of reporting it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say about it.
Okay, I got you. But wait. I need to ask you the question though. Do you think that this was worth it, or no?
Well, state's putting up the money, and all the city's got to do is maintain it. $10 million over 10 years. That's what, $1 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
They dump a lot more. They dump a lot more money into NGOs and everything. It seems to go down the rat hole. So, I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, we shall see. But you know, I think that a lot of us have got to stop saying that. You know, the state putting up this type of money, and then we're going to do $1 million a year to do it, because that state money they putting up, that's your money too.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah. So not just the
Probably
state.
Federal money.
We paying a lot of money for this decorative show.
It's probably federal money, but that's my money too.
Yep.
Because I pay federal taxes.
Yep. That is true.
But you know, I wanted to comment on you on Katrina for your thing coming up on the 29th.
Right.
And let me get it in now because I might miss you on the 29th. The federal government can cause inflation, and I've got two Katrina examples that'll tell you this. The first one was when they were building the Great Wall around the Intercoastal Canal down by St. Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
the Corps of Engineers took, let me say it the right way, they contracted out every concrete firm in the area.
Right.
And when they did that, it used to be $40 a yard for concrete, I think, at the time. And they goosed the price to $110 a yard.
Well, everything did that, though.
That was the first thing that did happen. The second thing that happened was HUD came in, and if you recall, the average rent before Katrina was around $750 a month, something like that.
Yep.
They came in and used East Coast prices, and suddenly they were jacking up the subsidy to $1,250 and $1,500 a month, and inflated the rent prices. Even when you rebuilt, the inflation was there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just two hard examples of how the federal government can come in and inflate prices overnight, almost.
Yep. You're correct. You are correct.
And you might want to, I know the two you got on are police people, but that's one thing you might want to explore on the 29th.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll take the break here. We'll come back. More in just a minute, y'all. Get your calls in at 504-582-9422. And good. Look, when you go to Facebook, go to our Facebook page. It's up now. Jazz has already put it up. The poll is up. The Crescent City Connection Lighting Project. Are you for it? Yay. Or you know, you're not. Nay. Yay or nay. That is your choices between the two. All right, the poll is up, and we'll get to it in just a bit, y'all. More coming up right here on WBOK.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
New Orleans, this is Jamar McNeely, Chief Executive Officer in Spinola Charter Schools. I'm excited to invite you to an incredible event you don't want to miss. The NOLA Love, Inspiration, Advocacy Rally featuring legendary Bishop T.D. Jakes. Join us on September 6th at 10 a.m. at Xavier's Convocation Center as we come together to uplift our community, inspire change, and advocate for the future of our youth. This is your chance to be a part of something truly powerful. RSVP now at inspirenolaschools.org. We'll see you there.
It's no secret that in New Orleans, we love good food just as much as we love our community. So why not make groceries while supporting local food producers too? Crescent City Farmers Market hosts year-round, rain or shine, where you can buy the region's freshest in-season produce, dairy, meat, seafood, and more. Using SNAP benefits at our market is easy, and with Market Match, you can double your dollars. Yes, that's right. Swipe your EBT card and we'll match every SNAP dollar, doubling your grocery budget so you can purchase more fresh fruits, vegetables, and food-bearing plants. Check us out on social media and visit us at marketumbrella.org for dates and locations. See you at the market.
Hello, WBOK listening audience. This is Pastor Robert Tanner of the Community Church of River Ridge, Louisiana, inviting you to tune in to our Sunday morning broadcast at 10 a.m. every Sunday morning right here on WBOK 1230 AM. That's Community Church with Pastor Robert Tanner every Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on WBOK 1230.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
All right, folks, welcome back. Just a few minutes before we get to the top of the hour. We got news at the top of the hour. I have done good, Jazz. I have done good today. I have not voiced too much of my opinion. I'm listening to everybody else. I see everybody on the news. I'm sorry, not on news, but on the Facebook Live, and they lighten it up. And then, of course, when you start naming streets that need to be prepared or repaired, repaired, whichever one you prefer, folks always have a street, a list of streets, or have a personal issue with the way that those streets have been maintained. Or should I say have not been maintained. And maybe we need to hear about that too. But it's interesting to me, in my whole approach of this story, someone has made a very good, case that we have never seen anything decorative that came out of the high rise. Have you? Nothing, ever. Nothing decorative. And anything, and this is going to be a little doom and gloom here, so hear me out. Anything that has anything to do with the high rise, have you all noticed that it's been negative? Tell me a positive story about the high rise. Somebody please call me. Tell me a positive story about the high rise. Anytime we talk about the high rise, it's negative. That is the link to New Orleans East, which is huge. It's a huge link. And we've never talked about anything decorative. We always talk about the accidents or the cars that break down. Have we ever talked about the lighting being fixed? Then the last big story about the high rise was somebody put a whole bunch of tires underneath it and set them afire. And then we didn't know if it was sturdy enough to keep us from going over it. It is the link to New Orleans East. At least once or twice, when I go out there on a Friday mornings to the east and I'm driving up the high rise, traffic is terrible. And the reason why, somebody acting an ass and driving crazy. I think the last week or a week before last, somebody had flipped their car on a high. How do you flip your car on the high rise? When I passed by the accident, the car was on the roof. The tires was up in the air. I'm thinking to myself, how are you driving too fast? And how do you drive fast in rush hour traffic? I don't know. We got to take our break here. We'll take the break here. We'll come back. We got news, and we'll take some of your telephone calls because I need y'all to take the poll. You got any numbers on the poll yet? Go to the Facebook page and take the poll. Crescent City Connection Lighting Project. Yay or nay?
36-64.
36-64?
The nays have it.
All right. We still looking for some more. Come on, y'all. Get them in. Go to the Facebook page and take the poll. And then we also going to talk about these streets that need to be fixed. I want to hear your personal stories. And talk about this lighting project, because I see all the folks that wrote their answer to the question, but I want to hear from you too. More coming up, y'all. News is next.
WBOK 1230 AM New Orleans, home of the Reality Check, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. President Biden is calling the Russian attack on Ukraine's power grid Monday outrageous. Russia fired hundreds of drones and missiles at the country, leading to multiple deaths. Biden said he condemned the actions in the strongest possible terms. Red Lobster will be closing an additional 23 restaurants nationwide at the end of the month. The move comes after the Orlando, Florida-based company closed over 100 locations earlier this year as it goes through bankruptcy proceedings. Sean Diddy Combs and his legal team are asking a Miami-Dade judge to drop a sex assault lawsuit against him from an ex-employee, music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. The African-American media mogul claims the lawsuit contains blatant falsehoods. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to welcome all of our teachers, school leaders, students, and families back for the 24-25 school year. In addition, we want to send a big shout out to our education community for all of their hard work this past school year. Orleans Parish improved students' learning mastery plus by 2 percentage points since last school year. Also, New Orleans Public Schools grew 3 percentage points in the areas of English language arts and math in all grade levels. Let's continue to make more academic gains this school year.
All right, folks. Right back at you. Right back at you. Gerard Stevens with you. It's Tuesday. I think this is a great time to really talk about these issues. Actually been better before they spent the money, but they didn't spend the money now. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, wow. We just spent $10 million on decorative lights on a bridge for Super Bowl. Is it me? Is it me? Now, I'm going to say something else. I'm going to get in trouble all day today because I'm even talking about some of the infrastructure repairs that I saw. Bruh. How many of y'all driven down Poydras? I'm talking about Poydras in front of the Superdome. Somebody call me before I say it and tell me what you saw on Poydras right at the Superdome. I might have to wait for this one if y'all trying to figure out what I'm talking about. Because I know somebody's going to be like, what he talking about? What he talking about? Bruh. The repairs. Now, I'm going to let y'all tell me. Because I'm going to go ham. And I'm going to sound like Porky. All right, P-Town, what you say?
Hey, Gerard, what's going on, Cat Daddy?
You the man. How you doing, bro?
It's all good. Hey, I was just on Portage. I didn't go that far down, but I do remember they had construction barricades and stuff like that, lane closures and stuff. But I don't know if they had anything other than that. But I hadn't made it to the Superdome. I actually made the U-turn right there by Dave and Buster's.
Okay, so you're right there at the Hyatt.
Yeah, I was right at the Hyatt area. So, and that was just this weekend past. So I don't know what's going on in front of the Superdome. I would have thought that they'd had that ready for the very first appearance in the game, but obviously
they did.
Not.
They did right there in front, right in front of Superdome. So I was like, that's it. Yeah. So my whole point would be, if they're telling me now maybe I'm just wrong, but all I saw was a bunch of patchwork. This section.
Oh yeah.
This section.
You're right.
This section, and instead of repaving the streets, it looked like we got a whole bunch of old cement with new cement patches.
Gee, it's funny you mentioned that. I did notice that, even where I was, and I commented on it to my wife. So yeah, you're right about that.
It's just a whole bunch of patches.
There's a couple other places in the city like that. You know what I'm saying? Where they just patched it up. We was going down. I can't remember exactly, but I usually take conscious notes of those things, And you're absolutely right. We was going down, actually going towards the Superdome down Portage. And I did notice that. But gee, the thing about it is, bro, I just don't understand, man. When I tell you that West Bank traffic since they started that, it's pure hell, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it's just discouraging. It takes you 2 hours, bro, to get to the West Bank in the evening now.
So
I
do
feel
you
like
think
I'm in
that
Dallas
it's
or
worth it?
Houston.
So you think the lighting is worth it?
I don't think the lighting is worth it at all. At all.
No.
For $10 million, man, I could have got 10 brothers on from the hood, brother, to get on the bridge with flashlights for a whole year, bro.
I just don't.
And beautify it.
I'm
It
just
ain't
like
worth it, G.
beautification
It
is
ain't
one
worth
thing. Beautification is one thing, but I would have liked to seen. Okay, so here's why I say I get in trouble. If you're going to tell me that you're going to do something with beautification, put that $10 million toward the folks that cut the grass, so that we can get them tractors out there once a week or whatever. Because of the fact that we're in rainy season, so we know it's going to start raining. And also on side of the highway, I'm telling you, it grows quick, fast, and in a hurry, especially in different areas that don't see those tractors every other week or just sees them once a month, even on Interstate 10. I'm trying to figure out how in the world we can't do it, but Florida does. And if you've ever traveled down to Florida, their highways are pristine with them cutting the grass, getting that grass up. Don't just cut the grass and have dead grass laying out there. Get that grass up. Get it up.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you saying that. It's funny you saying that. I'm actually coming around the curve that brings you into West Wego from the UEP.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm looking at this grass here, it's all cut. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something, Gerard. They were doing work. They're doing work on UEP right now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But it's not affecting traffic at all. And they've been doing it for a while.
Well, Sunday.
Okay, the thing about it is,
Sunday, I was actually I had to go across the river, and when I went across the river Sunday, they had a crew from the Department of Transportation out there pressure washing the bridge.
Yep.
I was like,
yep.
Pressure washing the bridge? Well, what's going on with the
bridge? They be out there at night. They get ready to paint it. And they're inspecting the bridge because there's been under a lot of inspections of UEP and stuff like that. So there's been a lot of inspections
I'm not even talking about the UEP. I'm talking about the Crescent City Connection. I'm talking about why are they doing all this and putting all of this emphasis on the Crescent City Connection when the majority of the folks that's coming, well, the majority of the folks that are coming here for the Super Bowl, or they come in for Mardi Gras, or they come in for any other event, Sugar Bowl, whatever. I don't think they're going to be traveling across that river.
They're not. They're not. There is no reason to do what they're doing on that bridge and to do what they're doing to inconvenience the citizens of this city. Now, they do construction at night in JP. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They don't do construction during high traffic hours unless it's like that emergency pipe broke on Jefferson Highway. Mm-hmm. But normally, you're right. If it's not in the neighborhood, they do not do major road highways and stuff in Jefferson Parish in the middle of traffic hours. They just don't do it, Gerard. And you know what I'm saying? So, and we have discussed this. We don't understand why the city of New Orleans could not have taken this project and changed the hours around from 7 at night to 7 in the morning. Why didn't they just do it like that, Gerard? And they could have avoided all of the headaches that folks have been going through in this city. It makes it very miserable, Gerard, because you've been to other cities like Dallas, like Atlanta, where they do road construction at night on highways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have no excuse for the miscalculations and the things that New Orleans do versus places that do the same thing and get different results, and the people not all frustrated. We get patches, Gerard, on bullet wounds. We get Band-Aids on them. We don't get things fixed. You understand? And I can tell you, Gerard, I I don't see the. I know it's just $1 million, but I don't never see the city or the state keeping up their end of bargains. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, the state had to come out with this for whatever reason. Super Bowl, the NBA is probably NFL probably helping to pay for it. So we understand that, but I don't see the city keeping it up, Gerard. You remember after the tolls went off? You remember what they did, man? They cut them lights off, and they were off for a good little while, and the city wasn't even paying that. I think you may have been the one that brought it up that the city wasn't even paying for those lights.
No, that
You
was
know what
the
I'm saying?
Young Leadership Council.
Some group of men some group of guys or something like that was paying for those lights.
No,
right?
that was
city
the
cut 'em off.
that was the Young Leadership Council that was paying for it.
Yes, they were paying for it. So the thing about it is, Gerard, do you really think the city gonna keep up its end of the bargain when we still got flooding, when we still got infrastructure falling apart around us? Do you really think that they're gonna keep up the end of their bargain?
Well, you're really
I
gonna
don't
get
think
pissed
so,
off
Gerard.
when they start throwing up an image on the tower that has been abandoned for so many years, and to show that they don't want the ugliness of the city to show. They're going to throw up a image on the tower so that folks can say, "Oh, isn't that nice? That's beautiful." So it won't look so ugly.
You talking about
at
that
night.
hotel that they had the nets on?
I'm talking about the tower that was owned by Joe Yeager before he died. That has been falling apart.
The nets on it. Yeah, the nets on
got
it.
the
Yeah.
nets on it. Yep.
On Howard.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So they're gonna put an image on that?
Yep.
Okay. Just putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound once again.
But my
Why not
question is,
implode the thing and get it out the way?
how much does that cost?
Who knows? How much does it cost?
I don't know.
It's
Nobody
gotta
gave
be
me. Nobody has given
a lot,
the
I'll tell you that.
answer. Yeah, it's gonna cost.
It's gonna cost. But you're right. Why don't they implode the building and bring it down? I mean, they got time to get that done before the Super Bowl.
Privately owned.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
you said the guy died. I thought the city may have taken it over, seeing that they the ones been doing the upkeep
just
on it.
goes
Like
to
that,
its estate. It just goes to its estate. So
it goes to the state. Oh,
No,
all
it
right,
goes-
bro.
goes to
Look,
his
bro,
estate.
it's not a good idea to spend $20 million for this type of beautification project. It
cool,
makes
my
no
brother.
sense.
All right, appreciate you.
Have a good one.
All right,
Yeah.
P-Town.
Yep.
JC.
Hello?
Hey, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. My wife listens at your show religiously, but I pass through the house from time to time.
You passing through?
I hear your
I
show.
caught you passing through. That's what I did. I caught you passing through.
Yeah, so guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Why are the people complaining about the lights on the bridge? The bridge belongs to the state.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody in the city, Harris or Caesar or somebody wants lights on the bridge for beautification, that's the state problem. Our problem in the city with the potholes is the mayor, the city councilor. If they're not
so you want me
doing
to
their
answer that?
job, and my councilman King over here, he doesn't do nothing.
All right. So
I
so
can't
let's-
say he doesn't do nothing, but the fact of the matter is, the citizens over here don't hold him accountable.
Mm-hmm. So let
And
me
so
add
it's
to your
our
conversation
fault.
piece. Let me add to your conversation. Yeah, the bridge belongs to the state. For the
Yes.
Department of Transportation, they are the folks that look over that. But that $10 million that is going toward those lights are your tax dollars. Those are federal tax dollars that you pay and the rest of the people of the state pay. The other part
Absolutely.
the other part
Absolutely.
of that, the other part of that is the city council, our city council for the city, has devoted another $10 million toward that project for maintenance. And I'm like, so this entire project is going to be $20 million. We keep saying 10 million of it coming from the state, 10 million of it is coming from the city. $10 million, and altogether it's going to be $20 million for the next 10 years. That too is your dollars and my dollars. Now, I agree with you. I see high grass. I see bad roads. I see bad infrastructure.
How long have we been seeing this, Gerard? For years.
Forever.
before they decide to put lights on the bridge,
right?
We have the potholes, the
Mm-hmm.
streets, bad streets. Citizenry don't hold these elected officials accountable.
Mm-hmm.
This has been going. Look, the deteriorate. You know that the city of New Orleans don't own a road grader, a drag line, a road pactor, don't own trucks, vehicles. The city of New Orleans don't own nothing. They outsource everything.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So this is the leaders that run this city been running it for years.
So
now, I
Mr.
can understand that. Hey,
Mr. Sanders,
the light should be a second priority to the city, but the bridge is an icon of the city.
But Mr. Sanders, some tells me you know what you're talking about because you just started naming some stuff. I'm still trying to figure out what you was talking about. All that equipment to pave and do these roads. So you know something about this type of work then, correct?
Right. The city doesn't own nothing. They outsource everything.
Mm-hmm.
They don't own an asphalt pile. They don't own a road grader. Now, the Sewage and Water Board owns some equipment.
Right.
But that's not the city.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
you know
state
what?
Too.
King, I goes down to the councilman office and said, look, guy, why don't we have a sublet trash station over here where we have the land?
Didn't you have one before?
Yes.
And it closed?
Yes.
Oh.
They didn't keep it up.
Well,
and
I
guess what?
What happened to it? I forgot.
Guess what he tells me?
What's that?
Well, Justin Parish going to put a trash disposal somewhere pick up. I said, we are not citizens of Justin Parish.
Right.
This is, look, we the citizens are failing, including myself, and our representatives are definitely failing us. And the people of New Orleans don't realize that the city of New Orleans don't own nothing. They couldn't keep up the property around their house with anything in the city because they don't own nothing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
man, you know, how you going to keep billions of miles of streets? You don't own a road grader. You don't own a bulldozer. You don't own a well machine. No kind of construction equipment. The city doesn't own nothing, and yet we pay millions of dollars worth of taxes for our property, and the people that runs it, they are not accountable. They don't do no audits or nothing for anything.
Nope.
So we the citizens are failing, and so are the people that we elect. They are failed peoples, and we got to suffer under them.
So what's the answer?
Well, you know, a good answer would be, can we elevate the level of understanding of the citizen to the point that they know that, look, our grass needs to be cut. We need to have good roads. We need to.
You know, the only time that I can even say that something like that happened, and you're going to remember this too, was the folks out in Lakeview. They got tired, and they all started having those community meetings out in Lakeview. This had to be, 5-10 years ago, somewhere in that area?
Yeah, you're right. Now, look, we know that the people that live in Lakeview.
No, but listen to me. They invested their own money and started going to get signs made, those red signs that said, fix my streets, I pay taxes, and start putting them up. And they were out and they were talking about Mitch, and they started protesting too, which made Mitch go meet with those folks and made him say, okay, I'm going to get this street fixed, and this street fixed, and he got him fixed. But since that time, I have not seen a community effort, and maybe it's just that I haven't seen it and maybe not looking in the right places, that put pressure on folks to get this stuff fixed.
Well, right. Now with all, you know, like, we know that the citizen that in Lakeview compared to citizens in the inner cities are different citizens, okay?
What you trying to say, Mr. Sanders? What you trying to say?
Their property is higher.
Mm-hmm.
They like they are more. Their income is high because look, Lakeview is a kind of like a little more expensive to live there and a little bit better quality citizen educational wise.
So
I'm not saying that people that don't have no education shouldn't have quality, but we can't organize in certain parts of this city because the people's look, the income level and the type of stuff that we know different black communities and different white communities have different levels of input. But let's take this analogy, okay? The city is one of the biggest businesses in the state, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's say here's a person that never had a lemonade stand, never owned a business, never run a corporation, and we expect this person to run the city. The city gonna go to hell with people like that. I'd be white, black, or polka dot pink. Now we want to talk about Contrail, but we as citizens created Contrail, and we just as worse as she is. Believe me. In fact, look, guys, you can't throw all these problems that we neglect ourselves on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing citizens want to get on your show and talk about what somebody else isn't doing, what somebody else should do for us.
Well, what you going to do for yourself?
And don't do nothing for yourself.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Sanders. I got to take my break, but I appreciate you calling me.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call. Don't make this the last time.
Okay.
All right. I'll
Appreciate
talk to you
it.
soon. All righty. Bye-bye. All right, we got more coming up, y'all. We got to take a break. We'll take the break here. We'll come back. More of your comments at 504-582-9422. We'll also come back and give you what the poll is saying. If you have not taken the poll, please take the poll. Crescent City Connection Lighting Project. Yay or nay? Are you for it or are you against it? What do you feel? The poll is up on Facebook right now. You can take it, y'all. We got more coming up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tony Flowers, Chief Diversity and Social Responsibility Officer at LCMC Health, and I want to bring you 5 tips to know for a great medical appointment. Number 1, know your questions. Make a short list of your most important questions and bring that with you to your appointment. Number 2, know what's being said. Ask your provider to speak in plain language, not those big long terms. Number 3, know the wellness plan. Ask your provider to explain the plan for your care in 3 simple steps. Number 4, know why the plan is important. Ask your provider to explain what will happen if you forget to follow the plan. And number 5, know your medications. Ask these questions to understand your medication. Why am I taking this? How will it help my condition? What time should I take it? What will happen if I miss a dose? We want you to build a great partnership with your providers and be in the know about your health. This is brought to you through a partnership of LCMC Health and the New Orleans Health Department. Be in the know.
Welcome back to school, families and scholars. NOLA Public Schools is excited to kick off another exciting year of learning, growth, and success. Our dedicated teachers have been preparing all summer to provide an engaging and enriching experience for every student. Let's embrace new challenges, celebrate achievements, and make this school year the best one yet. Stay connected with your school and NOLA PS by visiting our social media channels. Here's to a year filled with curiosity, creativity, and community. Attend today, achieve tomorrow.
A message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard parishes? If so, it's important for you to understand objective information about 1,3-butadiene, volatile organic compounds, methane, and mercury, and how they impact your health and the natural environment. The Community Scientist is a service program of Rise St. James. Learn more at risestjames.org.
They got 8 New Orleans hospitals, keeping you well.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creatives who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
Hello, I am Bishop Fred A. Caldwell Sr., host of the Know Your Bible International radio broadcast, which is heard here on WBOK 1230 a.m. each Sunday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. So join me here for a blessing, won't you?
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 a.m.
All right, folks, right back at you. That is what we do. Right back at you. Man. Didn't know this was going to be such a talkative conversation online either. I lost track. All right, Jazz, tell me where we at. Well, if you got the numbers of the poll, what we got?
$26.74. The nays have it.
The nays have it? 74% to 26%.
They still got some votes out there. They got a lot of y'all out there that's listening that didn't voice y'all opinion. Need y'all to go and take that poll so we could get a true temperature of what the city is thinking.
Especially my folks in Algiers. Because we got a lot of folks, and I think Mr. Sanders, he said his council person was Freddie King, so I'm guessing that he's in Algiers. But where is Algiers? 504-582-9422. Because every time I talk to folks in Algiers, the first thing that come out, a lot of them is they feel like they're not even involved in the city. They feel like they're not a part of the city. But I would disagree a little bit, just a little bit. Just a tad bit. Don't y'all call me and start getting me crazy. Don't get me crazy. And here's why. Let's see, when they needed General de Gaulle paved, they redid General de Gaulle. When they really needed to do that General de Gaulle corridor, that canal corridor, how long did that take? That took about a year, didn't it? Redid that. But what else has been since then? We got a new racetrack right there off of General de Gaulle. Now y'all got a new Starbucks right there at General de Gaulle and Holiday. They redid the library. And I would say this. I might be wrong, but I would say this. The cost at buying a house is probably a little bit less than on the East Bank. And you get more for your buck, square footage wise. I think, that's just my personal opinion now. Don't get me wrong, we go across that intercoastal waterway and you headed out there to English Turn or that other subdivision over there, you paying out your yin yang for those. I was looking at a house in English Turn, and that's what I did. I did an English Turn around and drove away. I did an English Turn. I say, old chap, move out of the way so I can get out of here. That was my English Turn. Let me stop, because I got a lot of friends that live over there in English Turn. They're going to call me up and say, what you trying to say about our neighborhood? You know Suzette live over there. So does Delisha. Let me see who else over there. Damon stay over there. Damon Smothers. He stay over there. So does Damon Singleton. Huh? I can't hear you. Because it's a great big old area. I ain't giving the addresses. Why you all up in the business trying to daggone hackle me?
You'll never know where.
I'm gonna give him your address. I know where your address is.
You'll never know where my house is.
I know where your house at. I know where your house at. Not where it is, but where it's at. Nah. Mm-hmm.
The most you can know is where my studio at.
Oh, no, I know where your house is. Mm-hmm. Nah. Keep playing. That address gonna go across the airways. Y'all, we gonna have a party over there by Jazz's house. Everybody show up. Bring some chitlins. All pork. He don't eat pork, y'all. We bringing all pork. We bringing chitlins. We gonna bring the pig and roast it out there. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have somebody to fix some hog maws and some pig's feet. Yeah. We're gonna have a pork party. Bring some sausage. Link sausage. What other kind of sausage? We can bring some andouille. So, let me get back to what I was saying, though. Some of those houses, I think you get more for the square footage over there. There are certain areas, just like anywhere else in the city, that okay. So let me say this. Y'all either going to agree with me or you're going to say, y'all having a real, Gerard having a real problem today. I do believe that certain areas of the city, the cost per square footage for you to buy a house in certain areas of the city has nothing to do with estate establishments that you can look at and say, look at that $1 million mansion, like an English Turn. So I take English Turn out of this verbiage that I'm putting together. I do believe that there are areas of the city that price you out so that you won't be able to move to certain parts of the city. Not because it's such an esteemed looking area, but to price you out because we don't want you po folks living in our neighborhoods, parking your cars on the grass, putting them on cinder blocks, putting yourself in a position where you got all your cousins over and y'all got on, because I had never seen this until I moved here. Y'all putting up the, what you call them things, them water things, the blow up things where the kids get into them. You know what I'm talking about? The water slides, yeah. We don't even put those in the backyard no more. Never did. We put them in the front yard. Why?
Party over here.
You can do that in the backyard.
The backyard don't say party over here.
Yeah, it do.
No.
Put a sign up or something. Shoot. Why you got all the churn?
In the front?
In the front yard.
Party over here.
With all that water.
Party over here.
Oh, Joe said that's a moonwalk. Is that what it is? But they doing the jumping thing in it. They got those water slides too. But I'm looking around and saying to myself, what you got a backyard for? Put the grill in the backyard along with the picnic table and the water slide. Put it in the backyard. Use your backyard.
But then everybody gotta.
That's how mess gets started.
They gotta find where the barbecue at. Then
Put a sign
they gotta look for it. They don't know where the house at.
Do this. I smell barbecue.
But you ain't got to do that when you see the barbecue smoke on in the front of the house.
You can see the barbecue smoke in the back.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
You can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Not like you can see it in the front.
I'd rather for you to look for it. We're using the front of the house. That in other parts of the world they do it in the backyard. They put the picnic table out. They put the tablecloths on the picnic table. They break the barbecue grill out. They got the music playing in the back. All the water slides and everything in the backyard. Not the front yard, not the backyard.
That's a memo you just didn't get. You just didn't get that memo when you moved down.
So that's an East Coast thing? Oh, they online now talking about my North Carolina roots. That's okay. But nobody can answer the question. And the question is, why do you do it in the front yard?
Why do we have second line bands in the middle of the street at any given day?
Because that's second line going down the street.
At any given day.
It's always announced. But I'm just trying to figure out, that's one person, one family. Which of y'all putting, and why are we putting these things in the front yard? Have you ever thought about putting it in the backyard?
It's totally unacceptable.
You put yours in the front yard too?
No. We got a big backyard.
You ever use it?
All the time.
That's
where all my birthday parties used to be. I used to have like haunted houses at my birthday party.
I actually had a party over my house when I used to live on LaFou Street out in New Orleans East. And had put up a tent. It's a big old tent, because you didn't want the sun beating down on the folks. Had put a tent up, put some chairs out. Do you understand that tent, before this was over with, left the backyard and ended up in the front yard so the folks could put their chairs under the tent in the front yard and sit out on the front yard, opened up the window to the house, put the speaker in the window. So the rest of my neighbors.
You know what? I think you don't understand one thing.
What's that?
A day party in New Orleans is a block party. I think that's what you're not understanding.
That wasn't no block party.
No, see, you didn't think it was a block party.
It wasn't no block party.
It turned into one.
It did not.
Where was the tent?
In the backyard.
And where did it end up?
In the front yard.
With what under it?
My chairs.
And what was in the window?
A speaker.
Sir, that was a block party.
That was a block party, bro?
Yes, that was a block party.
I'm in denial.
Yes. Yes, you are absolutely in denial.
I was in denial.
Yes.
And a couple of my neighbors came over.
That's because it was a block party.
It wasn't no block party, but I ain't throw no block party. A couple of the neighbors came over.
Definition of block party.
Just because they heard the music.
Definition. You know what? I'm done. I'm done explaining.
But look. Ain't that how stuff gets started though? You got liquor going, you got the music going, and somebody be done called somebody out the name or said something.
See, that's when it's important to know who's giving the block party.
Oh,
because if you're not liked on the block, it's probably better that you.
Oh, I was liked on the block. Oh, bruh.
Well then,
because when you were running like one of the top radio stations in the city, which I was at the time, it was nothing for one of the folks that's a star, maybe nationally or internationally, be calling you saying, "Where you at? I'm in the city. I want to come by your house." And then you see, because I can tell you this, Barbara Lewis, who was vice president of Capitol Records, she actually lives here. She's from New Orleans. She lives here now. She's retired, but she lives here. She still works in the music industry doing a lot of stuff. I won't be telling all her business. But we used to go to Barbara's house, and play basketball. It was nothing to go by Barbara's house playing basketball and getting something to eat because she cooked gumbo and she made the best potato salad. Oh, my God. And to be out there playing basketball with Casey and JoJo of Jodeci because they like to play. Them boys play hard. Or to be going over and she'll call me up and say, you know, your bowling partner coming to town because he used to talk a lot of smoke. You know who else would know this? Wick. Wick would know, and Wick would be my witness on this because I would call Wick, and every Wednesday night, me, Wick, Karen Hentz, and some other folks would end up at the AMC bowling alley in Kenner on the West Bank, depending on where we wanted to go, because they had two bowling alleys on the West Bank. One right off of what was the first one? It was a nice one. It was right off of I think like the first exit in Gretna. So we used to go to that one, and then we go to the one that they had off of Manhattan. And guess who would come to town just to go bowling? Avant. Talk more junk than anybody, bro. He used to make you mad. Be like, I'm never playing your records again because he talked too much junk. But he talked a whole lot of junk. But he would win too, and then get mad when he lost. Just didn't know. Just didn't know that we had it in, and we would be out there from the time we got off work like 5, 6 o'clock to 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, throwing them balls down the lane. So those are the things that I'm like, okay, cool. That's the party to me, going different places. Not sitting up there with no slide in your yard for the churn. I ain't know nothing about that. Okay, here it come, y'all. Here it come. What? Go ahead.
You just didn't know.
It was a block party.
That's all.
That's all.
You just didn't know.
That's all it was? Yes, indeed. I thought
that's
it was
Mr. Harrell.
That's Mr. Harrell. What you say, Mr. Harrell?
Yeah. You know, I said to myself, I'm going to put myself on hold and not call you for a while. And then you hit on a subject that I have to call you. So anyway, this time last week, I was at the port, and I thought about you, Long Beach and Los Angeles port, and they were unloading Mercedes-Benz. And I'm told they can bring in 6,000 cars on one ship.
You bought me one?
Say that again?
You bought me one?
No. I'll talk to you over the weekend. This area that you were talking about, the houses, how much do what's the price range of the houses?
Which ones? What you talking about? You talking about
I'm talking about you
English
just said that you went over into some area where the people live and Suzette and whatnot. Do you recall that you just said that?
It's houses up to, a couple of million.
Okay. All right. Over the weekend, I'm going to call you and tell you how to get into the neighborhood. So,
No, I want them taxes. I don't want them taxes. I don't want that insurance. And insurance here, Mr. Harrell, is totally unacceptable. It is
the
too
same
high.
here. The same here.
I would beg to differ. If you look at the insurance prices for the property prices, people are selling their houses here because they can afford the house, but they can't afford the insurance due to the fact that so many different insurance companies. Now, this is what's being told to us. Now, I'm part of that conspiracy club membership, so I got a problem with it. That the insurance is, you talk about insurance being $1,500, $2,000 a year here, that has gone up to $5,000 and $6,000 to $8,000 a year per house, and it's taking the notes up so high that people are selling their homes.
Yeah, well, okay. Everything is a lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So here, where the fires were, they quit insuring the people. Okay. And we have a house in Houston, and I think I told you that the insurance company came out and they said they wanted the trees cut. They wanted some work done on the roof. And, of course, we can handle all of that. But what I'm saying, there's a way to do whatever you want to do and afford it. See? So you're talking about, now I have one of my real estate consultants, her taxes here are $12,000 a year. So what I'm asking is, you say the average house in the area that you were talking about, you say $1 million or whatever.
$500,000 up. $500,000
Say
up.
that again?
$500,000 and up.
Yeah, okay. So I could get you in there, then show you how to regulate your insurance. See, now when the insurance company, I'm a third generation remodeling contractor, and I could throw out some names that you would know that we did work for. And then too, there's a house that we worked on for a year in the Hollywood Hills. They just tore it down. I'll be going up there. Did you know the name George Burns?
Yeah, the comedian.
Okay, the comedian. And what was his wife's name?
What was
I can't think of it right now. I'm getting close to becoming a senior citizen.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, okay. But anyway, they tore the house down and they're building a new house in that area. Now it's in the area of Doheny and Sunset. It's just above Sunset. They're building a new house there now. But what I'm saying to you, or trying to say, is that the difference in people is what they know and what they don't know.
George Burns' wife is Gracie Allen.
Gracie Allen. Okay. Their daughter's husband, who was a producer. I'm gonna send you some information and whatnot. We worked on that house for 8 let me tell you. 8, I think it was 8 months? And we worked on the house next door. But anyway, they're building a new house there. And investors have come here, and some that live here from all over the world, and it's a great opportunity to buy. They're pricing the people out. See? So what I'm saying is, whatever that house that you were talking about, you can live there real easy if you just know how to do it. See? And the taxes, self-insure yourself, and all of that.
Nice.
And it can be different just by information. So anyway, you talked about the kids jumping in the front yard and they price you out. Yeah, it's deliberate. They price you out. Yeah, and then you have different values. I'm saying that figuratively, as far as the community is concerned. So we are going to build some houses, a few, and we're going to focus on backyard entertainment. In other words, really putting the backyard together so people can have parties and that kind of thing.
Okay.
But and then another thing, you said something about pork. You should never. I have never eaten pork in my life, and that's the worst. You talk about the black health and all of that, the LCMC or whatever it is. Well, if you eat right, vegetables and fruits every day, you drink water, you get I told you I'm going. Anyway, sunshine, and you do some walking, you almost will never have to be bothered with a doctor. And I have them in the family, but I'm allergic to doctors. I don't have a doctor. See, and you talked about your blood pressure and whatnot. I will guarantee you my blood pressure is lower than yours. And it's all because of lifestyle. What you eat, what you drink. I've never had alcoholic beverages. And most people don't know they have a liver, and everything that you consume goes through your liver.
Okay.
And, okay. So anyway, life is good. And I heard you talking about the housing problem, prices and that kind of thing. And I'm just sitting here curious to want to know what the prices are of the houses there. So anyway, I just thought I had to holler at you. I said I was going to give you a break, but
well, cool.
Anyway,
thank you, sir.
One last thing: the ships are out there and the trucks getting ready for Christmas.
Well, go ahead on and get my Christmas gift, that Mercedes that you're talking about. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
What about a G-Wagon?
I'll take it. Thank you. A G-Wagon for G. That's what it is.
It's good to talk to you. I appreciate you, but I said I'm going to put myself on hold and quit calling for a while.
I got you.
You make me call. Okay.
I appreciate you, sir. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Harold out in Los Angeles. Yes, indeed. Just sitting out there looking at the Mercedes come off the ship. He going to give me my Mercedes. Thank you. G-Wagon it is. Just put a big bow on it. That's what I'm saying. Just put a big bow on it. Before we go to break, let me remind everybody that what I am doing, I am looking for pastors, leaders of the synagogue, leaders of the mosque, all of your folks, no matter who they are. I need those folks, and I need a number to get in contact with them. I have a big meeting that I am putting together on the 7th, but I need the church, no matter what denomination, not just Baptist. I'm looking at, all the clergy, whether Catholic, Baptist, Church of God in Christ, whatever the denomination is. I'm looking for them. I need the numbers to get in contact with them because I need them to come to a meeting. That meeting is going to be September the 7th from 10 until 1. And this has to do with a lot what's going on in our community. I could sit here and break all that down, but it would take the whole show. I need to talk to them personally and get them to come to this meeting to understand it. This is something that no one has ever done in this community, but we're going to do it. All right. We'll take the break here. So call us at 504-582-9422. Who is that person? Who's the leader of your church? And how we get in contact with them? We need those numbers. And I mean, we need them like now. So get it to me. Call Jazz. Jazz is nice. He'll answer the phone for you too. Take that information down. All right, we're gonna play some commercials, go straight into the news, and then we'll come back with your comments. More next.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM. Or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
New Orleans, this is Jamar McNeely, Chief Executive Officer at Spinola Charter Schools. I'm excited to invite you to an incredible event you don't want to miss. The NOLA Love, Inspiration, Advocacy Rally featuring legendary Bishop T.D. Jakes. Join us on September 6th at 10 a.m. at Xavier's Convocation Center as we come together to uplift our community, inspire change, and advocate for the future of our youth. This is your chance to be a part of something truly powerful. RSVP now at inspirenolaschools.org. We'll see you there.
Hi there, it's Dr. Shepard with Honeydew Products. Are you fed up with hair products that leave you with dryness, thinning, balding, breakage, or hair loss? Say goodbye to bad hair days. Our all-natural products, founded in 1971 by my mother, a pharmacist, can revive your hair, health, and confidence with ease. Rush to our website now for exclusive deals. That's www.honeydewproducts.com. www.honeydoproducts.com.
Tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon to What's Growing New Orleans. Hosted by Angel Vanderpool, What's Growing New Orleans is a weekly conversation about developing and growing Black businesses throughout the region. Brought to you by the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce.
At the New Orleans Police Department, we're just like you.
I'm a personal trainer.
I'm a mom.
I'm a dad.
I'm a neighbor.
I'm a friend.
But when I put on this badge, I become something more.
I become a protector.
Servant of the community.
We're here to make a difference because we care, just like you.
Become more for your community, like us. Apply today.
Visit joinnopd.org.
WBOK 1230 AM New Orleans, home of the reality check, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. In New York, the school year is starting next week, and New York City is preparing to implement some sort of cell phone restriction in schools. Mayor Eric Adams says the school's chancellor is studying the matter and weighing different options. He adds the chancellor found the overwhelming majority of teachers, students, and parents would like to get the distraction out of school. However, the mayor, who is Black, says they are figuring out details of the policy in terms of where to put the phones and addressing concerns of parents not being in direct contact with their children. Sean Diddy Combs and his legal team are asking a Miami-Dade judge to drop a sexual assault lawsuit against him from former employee and music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. Combs claims the lawsuit contains blatant falsehoods. The suit accuses Diddy, who is Black, of sexually harassing, drugging, and threatening Jones from September 2022 to November 2023. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to welcome all of our teachers, school leaders, students, and families back for the 24-25 school year. In addition, we want to send a big shout out to our education community for all of their hard work this past school year. Orleans Parish improved students' learning mastery plus by 2 percentage points since last school year. Also, New Orleans Public Schools grew 3 percentage points in the areas of English language arts and math in all grade levels. Let's continue to make more academic gains this school year.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. 504-582-9422. A little bit off track, but that's okay. We got to talk about this issue because I've been seeing so many folks online, so many folks calling me saying, man, you can't believe this. Things that we need to be working on in this city. And they done took $10 million and put it toward some damn decorative lights. That's what they say, some damn decorative lights on a bridge. I'm trying to get home and the traffic all messed up. You're going to be sitting here for a whole bunch of time. And I'm like, okay, so we complaining. So I just decided today that the Crescent City Connection Lighting Project was going to be my topic of conversation. Are you okay with it? Are you not okay with it? Do you think that there should have been a discussion on whether this stuff should have been paid for by your tax dollars, $10 million, and $10 million for maintenance by the city? What you think? So we put up the poll on Facebook so that you can see our Facebook poll. Right now we're at what? 69% saying nay, and 31% saying yay, we like it. But 69% is doubling this. All right, George, what you say?
Man,
Turn your radio down, bro.
I did that for a fit, bro. I'm number 69, bro. I'm a 69er. You get it? I'm a 69er.
I don't need to hear those issues.
And I ain't just talking my sexual preferences either.
Yeah, okay.
But we got a 69 on that bridge. Man, them lights is ugly as all hell, too.
You think they're ugly?
Man, I'm driving across that bridge the other night, and they had the purple lights on, right?
and it had some other color on the other side of the bridge, and they just look like big spots. They don't even look like they, have any sexy to them. They're just big purple blobs of light on the bridge.
They might have been trying to do the purple rain on you, baby.
It ain't raining already, but you can piss on me. You can't make me believe it's raining.
You stupid.
And that's what they're doing, man. They're PPing on the people, trying to make them believe it's raining, bro. Ain't nothing sexy about them lights, bro. Nothing. I mean, they're the ugliest lights. They're so ugly. I was driving across thinking to myself, now, how'd they get away with putting these ugly lights? I said, they must be going to have some serious effects on them lights when they go to having different colors on them and stuff. They're going to make them be jumping. And you know they can't do nothing to distract you on the bridge, so that ain't going to happen. But they don't make the bridge look sexy, bro. They just make the bridge look like somebody came along and dropped a bunch of high color light spots on the bridge. They're ugly as hell.
You don't like them?
I don't like. I told you, bro. I don't like them. I don't even get it like them. I don't get because it doesn't have no effect. You know what I'm saying? And the closer you get to it, the less effect it has, bro.
So what effect were you looking for?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be something like, I mean, even with the old white lights, they had a lot of them, even though they were just like inexpensive light kind of system, right? They had a lot of those lights on it, and it did have some kind of appeal when it was just the old white light system. But this new system they got up now, it just doesn't have any appeal, bro. Like I said, it looked like a bunch of dots. Like a bunch of dots on the bridge. Even, I live on the West Bank. And even when I look at it coming across the expressway or try to look at it from afar, it's still not appealing. It just looks like a bunch of dots hanging in the air.
I'm just concerned. Here's what I'm concerned about. And I think my concern has already been noted because this happened. I'm concerned on the number of folks that are going to be in awe of the lights, that are not paying attention to them driving and trying to see and looking around, not paying attention to where they're headed, and end up in accidents or killing somebody. And there was an accident just the other morning after they talked about, one of the other leaders in the media being put to rest. Then one of the producers over at WGNO got hit on his motorcycle and killed him on the bridge. So I'm just paying attention to the fact that, if we're doing lights on the bridge, okay. But what about the folks that's going to be in awe of those lights, not paying attention to them drive and look around, and then either run in the back of somebody or run in somebody's lane, and then we're going to have a whole bunch of accidents.
I got an answer for that, bro.
Okay.
If anybody is in all them lights, they did not be smoking that stuff before they get on the road, bro. Because that's the only way. You got to be doing some hallucinogenics or something to be in all them lights, bro. They're just not that. They're not awesome. The sad part about it, bro, it is pitiful. They're pitiful lights. Pitiful. Because it don't hold no characteristic of design. All it look like is bubbles. It looks like bubbles of light on the bridge. Okay. That's the sad thing about it. And before I cross off this comment, bro, I got to cross back to that New Orleans housing crisis in New Orleans. That them people came here and thought New Orleans was so great and then swole up the real estate value so much you can't get insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's the deal, bro. Them people came here and swole it up so much that you can't even get good insurance on your house no more because they cost so much the insurance companies ain't insuring it. I warned people about this. I warned them on this radio broadcast. I said, if you looking to buy a good investment property and you got the money and the wherewithal to overcome that value of not having insurance on your house, but you got the kind of money you can handle any disaster that come up, stand by because they're going to be bailing out this city because that's going to be the catch-up. Unfortunately, for most black people who are trying to buy in the city, we're the ones that are going to end up being harmed the most because we have income disparity. And if you trying to hold on because you're an old-time New Orleanian and you got family heritage and all that going on, y'all better figure out how y'all going to insure yourself somewhere else, but it ain't going to be in Louisiana.
I just think that this is a farce. Y'all know I'm a part of the Conspiracy Theory Club, and here's the reason why, and I have proof of it. I think it's a farce as far as the number of dollars we're putting toward insurance compared to what Mississippi is putting toward insurance.
Ain't that an apple and the orange, bro?
So I have a house that's nowhere near a lake. I'm sorry, nowhere near a ocean or beach. And you all have spent millions and billions of dollars telling me that I got 500-year protection as you have shored up all of my levees. But yet you promised me that if we spent this money to shore up our levees, our bridges, and whatever, that we would be better off. And what we got out of that was insurance companies that left the scene, that won't insure us, or charging us an arm and a leg to insure us. I went to Bay St. Louis and Biloxi. Not Biloxi. But I went out there to the places where the beaches are, and they building neighborhoods out there, boy, and the insurance is $1,200-$1,300 a year.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute. The damn hurricanes is coming up off the beaches. The hurricanes tore up that area, and I'm like, well, how come their insurance ain't that bad? And as I went into this neighborhood and talked to these folks that's trying to sell these houses in these brand new neighborhoods, they were like, man, you'd be surprised on how many folks are leaving Louisiana and coming over here to live.
And that's one of the other things that your conversation is really directing around, but it ain't nobody called up and hit on it 100% yet, is because y'all keep reelecting these insurance commissioners who are placating to these insurance companies, not holding their feet to the fire, and allowing them just to absurdly overcharge and upcharge you, even though you have 500-year protections on your system. Mm. And this is New Orleans. If they're going to hate anywhere, they're going to hate here, you know. And so one more time, bro, this is what you get when you don't vote. This is what you get when you just don't really take time to understand the system of people who you're voting for an insurance commissioner, and don't understand that you can't even really hardly afford to own a car here. Bro, when I first moved here, my car insurance was like $200 a year where I left from. And if I paid it in advance, I got a $25 discount on that. I came here to almost $3,000 a year insurance.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even talking, but just liability. Wow. And so, you know, that whole conversation you having, bro, you see black people be hearing you talk about elections and elections matter and this, that, and the other, and you say these are the end results of when we don't participate.
Yeah.
You know, if I gotta hear it, and I'm hearing it on the only black radio station in the area that's gonna tell me the information I need to know, black news I need to know. And if I'm not paying attention to it, I've already been told if you don't participate, these are what you're gonna get.
All right, George, let me take these other calls, man.
Right. So I get off the phone because I know yesterday's conversation was stupid, whatever who that guy, that attorney is. He should be like me, next door at my friend's house, on my phone, on my car, on my computer, wherever I can, next door at my neighbor's house, listening to WBOK, Gerard G-Man Stephen, the station I listen to all day, and the reality check with Jazz on the backboard. He gonna miss out on the important black facts he need to know, and that ain't got nothing to do with all that insanity. Brother, look here, keep doing what you do, bro.
Goodbye, George.
Love y'all, man.
All right, brother. All right, Mr. Elmo.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good, my friend. How you doing?
All right, brother. Look, I have a policy within myself. I make opinions with other people, and I make opinions when I call you. But I put myself in check and say I reserve the right to really analyze what my opinion is and look at facts. And I remember when I spoke with you last week, I was so glad to hear from you. And you mentioned to me that you thought I would call you earlier than later, my opinion on the convention. And I was very excited. But after further review, let me tell you what I have to say. I was very disappointed that no Palestinian Americans or no Palestinian organizations spoke at the Democratic Convention.
Mm-hmm.
So we're so democratic about it. That's one. Secondly, I may be considered anti-Israel, anti-Jewish, but I'm not. I took some part of offense when Harris made the comment about Israel going all the way to get him a big old kudos because she said how they was going to support Israel. Now, first and foremost,
so we're going back to the convention?
Right, yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to use her line. I'm going to use Kamala Harris' line, which I love it. Let's make it clear. Israel don't have no problem getting support from America since 1948. That's one. Secondly, the least of the words are getting paid because they've been getting paid.
Okay.
But again, I try to look at facts, Gerard. Now, people might disagree with facts.
But I really appreciate if y'all stay on topic, though. We already went through that, though. I'm not trying to.
I'm saying, okay, brother. Okay. Well, get back to the brother that mentioned about the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm full agreement with what he's saying. The whole deal in a nutshell, those lights are not really accurate to me because you don't really get good lighting. And I know they're trying to save energy. They're really cheap lighting, but again, I know they want solar power too. But again, man, those lights ain't worth the crap, you know?
I just don't think there's nothing cheap about them. I mean, we paying $10 million.
Oh, they're expensive, no question. I mean, they're not cheap in price, but they're cheap in quality in terms of lighting.
So you think it's cheap quality?
I think that energy efficient, no minus lighting ain't worth squat.
The LEDs, right?
Right, brother. And I understand they will go energy efficient, and the lighting that we use. If you don't understand about lighting, you used to use what they call high pressure sodium light fixtures. And a lot of times, the reason why they didn't use it anymore because it was giving out radiation. So EPA says you can't use it anymore. But again, they come with this LED stuff, claim to be energy efficient, but they ain't worth the squat because they don't have good lighting, brother.
So let me ask you this: How are they with humidity and all the different types of, I guess, the different effects of the air that's going to be coming off that water?
Okay, well, again, I never did research on that. I never got that technical with it. The only thing I could see, for what I see, the lighting to me, I know the reason why they built those type of lighting because they're energy efficient and unlike the other lights they have used in the past, but they don't have good lighting, brother. That's all I'm saying.
And I think that George kind of put it in perspective for me. It's like, what's so great about it? Are we looking at it because it just changes colors? Are we looking at the longevity of him? And then the other part of that, we are dedicating $10 million toward this project, but how I think it's a slap in the face to the folks that live here that have been complaining about getting street lights fixed forever and a day, that we couldn't get money devoted to getting them fixed, but yet y'all automatically walked in and said, "Oh, okay, cool. We'll put $10 million toward the project for maintenance." Come on.
Well, Gerard, now I don't need no brick wall over my head to tell you this. We got to look at our leadership, and we got to look at. I mean, you got to understand something. We have money. If the money that's going to cities, municipalities, communities, it's awesome with the infrastructure bill. We receiving money. So where all that money going? I mean, I love Super Bowl. Look, don't get me wrong. I love the Super Bowl, but I'm not gonna get it twisted, man. When you're gonna have people that's homeless can't get affordable housing, and you're gonna ship them out because you don't want people to see, because you want to make it look like New Orleans so prosperous when half the people can't even afford to live here. Come on, bro. Let's be real.
And understand something. You ain't got to be homeless to be able to say, I can't afford to live here. No more.
Exactly. I mean, you got to allow people to afford to live here. I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
I had a lady that called me yesterday. Well, you know what? She didn't call me yesterday. I talked to her yesterday. That was telling me that she lives on the West Bank and she leaves from work on the East Bank, and now she has to make it a point to leave earlier because she don't want to go across the river during the time that those lights on, because it causes problems with her eyes. And I was like, what? She said, I forgot what she called it. And she said it actually makes a problem with her seeing correctly because it causes problems with her eyes. I was like,
and
wow.
I'm not surprised, Jerome, because I could see that. I've seen that further away from the bridge. So I can imagine how I'm gonna feel when I go up there. I mean, you kind of wonder the people who spend our money, taxpayers. Who's the consultants, and who's really looking at the prices we're paying, and they don't give second opinions. They just say, we're gonna spend it, we're gonna get it. They don't say, well, let's look at a different lighting source. They don't look at that. You kind of wonder what they be thinking, you know.
I don't know. I wish I was like, what? Who did y'all consult with this?
That's the point.
Oh, and were there 3 bids that went out? How many bids were there on this? And they told me it was $1 million, but yet they were going to put $2 or $3 million into fixing all the lights in the city on the highway. I'd be like, okay, cool. At least we got that. But there's no bargaining on this. That this was automatically saying decorative. But yet, when I come home in the evening, I have to deal with driving in an area where there is no lighting. Only lights that you have are the headlights of your vehicle. So that's terrible to me.
Well, the thing is, I'm frustrating, and I know I'm going off topic, but I'm just saying it's related to leadership you have. I mean, listen, I love Sherman Copeland to death. The bottom line is we ain't got no leadership. I mean, like I say, Oliver, we got some decent leadership. I hate to bring him up, but I have to. The brother's giving us leadership not only to our district, but a city. But it's sad that we don't have nobody that got balls to see nothing. I hate to see it. They ain't got the balls to see nothing. They ain't got the goodies to see anything. They look like they just can't. I mean, maybe because they're bought in paper, man. But I think, and I'm being honest with you, I don't think Oliver's gonna be a great leader. I mean, he says very common sense things. We need leadership, brother.
Yeah, I think so. I think that we need leadership, but we also need to be able to spend our money where money is needed, not where they want it. You know, there's a difference between
well,
needs
I don't want to beg what I need, beg what I want, beg what I need, beg what I want, or whatever, or buy what I need, can't get what I want. But that's the thing, man. It's just terrible.
Right. So I don't know. We'll see. All right,
All right,
Mr.
brother.
Elmore, I got to take my break.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll take the break here. We'll come back. More in just a minute. We'll take some more of your telephone calls.
Hey y'all, it's Chef Bunny, and I'm the host of The Roo, where we will be discussing all things food and NOLA. You can catch me live on air Thursdays at 12:30 p.m., so check out what we'll be cooking up on WBOK 12:30 a.m.
Discover the Leah Chase School, NOLA Public School's first new direct-run traditional public school in nearly 2 decades. We offer excellence in math, science, English, and social studies, focusing on unlocking every child's potential. Every scholar receives a personal device, regular assessments, clear family communication, as well as transportation services in a nurturing, arts-inclusive environment. Secure your child's K through 5th grade slot today. Apply at enrollnolaps.com and embark upon a unique educational journey.
At the New Orleans Police Department, we're just like you.
I'm a personal trainer.
I'm a mom.
I'm a dad.
I'm a neighbor.
I'm a friend.
But when I put on this badge, I become something more.
I become a protector.
Servant of the community.
We're here to make a difference because we care, just like you.
Become more for your community, like us. Apply today.
Visit joinnopd.org.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
Hello, I am Bishop Fred A. Caldwell Sr., host of the Know Your Bible International radio broadcast, which is heard here on WBOK 1230 a.m. each Sunday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. So join me here for a blessing, won't you?
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 a.m.
All right, folks, welcome back. Coming up today at 4 o'clock, I almost said 5, but 4 o'clock, we've got the sports report. All right, the number is 504-582-9422. So we put together this poll live on Facebook. So the Crescent City Connection Lighting Project, all the decorative lights that you're seeing now, were you for it? Were you against it? What do you say? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Right now, we're at 68% with the nays, 32% with the yays.
It just flipped around. Not flipped around, but it's 69-31 again.
So we're at 69-31. Yes, indeed. All right. What you say, Kevin?
Hey, first of all, as always, man, thank y'all for having these conversations. Now, I came in on this conversation when the young man, the fellow from California, who's the contractor, was talking about how he could get you in this neighborhood that's expensive. Then I heard y'all talking about the different insurance rates, the difference between Louisiana, particularly New Orleans, and Mississippi. And my story doesn't change. It's the same conversation. It really just does not change. We talk about leadership. Look, I'm going to give you this rhetorical joke, but it really is an analogy, quite frank. I mean, it's a metaphor for our community. Do you know the difference, what's the difference between ignorance and apathy? The answer is, I don't know and I don't care. Until we start coming together and realizing that the leadership is not just for a particular individual or class of individual, whether it's political class or social or socioeconomic class. It's if you're in a community, you become accountable for the leadership in your community. Until we start coming together, and I keep saying think tank, we need to get off of this kick about black excellence, because excellence is as excellence does. The bottom line is this: if we got enough people in this community to come, and I said this community, this could really, I could be talking about anywhere in the world, quite frankly. But since I live here and we're talking about our specific circumstances, the bottom line is this: we got enough people from here. If we didn't live by this metaphor of ignorance and apathy, we could actually distribute the workload among ourselves and start think tanks. And look, distribute the responsibility. Deal with one group of people, deal with this, another group of people deal with that. That's how things get done. You can't eat an elephant by yourself. Everybody has to be involved. And when we talk about black excellence, all we need is people to show us how to organize. But you can't. It's kind of hard to get people organized. There've been 400 years of this beat down. We got a lot of prep work to do, so we can start getting people involved on small projects. If we can get some successes in small projects with the understanding how to organize, just on small projects, we can easily ratchet up to larger projects. But we got to quit being ignorant and apathetic. Ignorance is fine. No, it's not a problem with ignorance. But when you apathetic with it, that's a problem. That lacks accountability, and it, quite frankly, is an indication of a lack of character, however it's from, whether it's from because it's nature or nurtured. The bottom line is we've all been made insane by racism, white supremacists, blacks and whites, because if Mississippi is having this cheap insurance, and we know the white folks, we live in an antebellum South in Louisiana, period. We know they're hating on New Orleans, okay? Because you can own property in Louisiana, different places that the insurance rate's not this high, okay? So if black folks don't start coming together and start dealing with the specifics of these dynamics that's affecting us, we'll never know how to share this information with the larger white community who's also being affected with this, so they can get some buy-in on helping us to deal with these issues with us, because ultimately it's affecting them too if they're not part of the 1% wealthy ruling class.
All right. Thank you, Kev. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
We have so many issues. And yes, Brandon, you are correct. Brandon said, I'm considering retirement. I was like, damn, is that on my forehead? Oh, Lord. Let me stop. That's funny. That is funny. I just basically look around and I do think about what is and what was and what shall be. Maybe sometimes that is not good for your mental health. What is, what was, and what shall be. But when I think that way, what is, what was, and what shall be, I think I do myself and probably a lot of you disservice, because I don't include in there what could be. The part of this that gets on my nerves is that in my lifetime, I don't think that I've seen so many things that you have to fight for. Does that make sense? Come on. Yeah, y'all help me out with this one. Don't be like, well, what's wrong with him? No. Listen to me good. Listen to me good. Every damn thing is a fight now, because I got this one saying this is good for you. I got somebody on the other side saying it ain't good for you. I got somebody telling you that this is an environmental nightmare. I got somebody else telling me that, oh, it's good for you. We're going to release these chemicals. You're going to be all right. I got this one telling me that, it's going to benefit you now. But what's it going to do to me later? I want to go to the grocery store and go shopping because I got all my nutritionist telling me, Gerard, you need to lose some weight. And these are the things that you need to be looking for. Okay, cool. So I have become a label reader. Jazz. I have become a label reader.
Dun, 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 dun.
I know. But the problem is, I don't know what I'm looking for. I know I'm not looking for the glucose corn syrup stuff. I almost said the wrong word. I almost said it like I got a lisp. I had to correct myself. But they're telling me that I need this in my body. Then somebody else will tell me, oh, no, that's not good for you. You shouldn't have the sugars. Okay. And then somebody else will tell me, well, it needs to be regulated, Gerard. You can have a little bit. Then we have somebody that's going to tell us, this is what's happening with your house. Your insurance is going to be too high. Then I got the folks from the state telling me, oh, yeah, you want a fortified roof? Well, what the hell I'm going to get a fortified roof for if I can't afford the rest of the house? What I'm going to do, take that with me when I leave? Then Mr. Harold just told me, he said, I can get you in there and da-da-da-da, and you need to be able to self-insure. Well, in the state of Louisiana, guess what? If you anywhere with a mortgage company, the mortgage companies tell you can't self-insure. You got to have an insurance company. So it almost makes me feel, and I don't know if anybody else is feeling this way, damned if I do. Damned if I don't. So I can understand, I don't always agree, and maybe not always disagree. Maybe I sit there in the middle. With folks that end up saying, man, I'm tired. And the older you get, you're like, let's pass this torch to somebody else. But it looks like our young folks don't care about the same stuff that we care about as older folks. They own a whole different platform than us. As a matter of fact, statistics have come back to say that our young folks don't even feel that they're going to be owners of a home because we are pricing them out. That's the way they feel. So my question would be to anybody else, what's the incentive? Oh, there are incentives. Oh, there are incentives now. There's plenty of incentives. Oh, there are a lot of incentives. But how you expect me to get up with some money if I got to pay so much money because I went to school and I got to pay these loans back? You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't. I want another car. I want to buy a car. But cars today, if you want a brand new car, cost just as much as a house note. I was looking at a truck. That's honest to God true. I was looking at a truck. Oh, this truck did everything except scratch a behind. And I was talking to the guy. He was trying to sell me, boy. He was trying to sell me. He had the key in his hand. He was like, you want to take it for a test drive? I was like, man, let's just take a look at it first because I ain't want to get in and fall in love. That's how they get you. He was like, all right, man. He had the key and he hit the button on that thing. The next thing I know, that thing went beep, beep, beep and started up by itself. He hit the back button and the tailgate come up. He opened up the door and the steps. It has the step up and it came out. I'm like, ooh, wee. Boy, this nice. And I did it in my country voice. I was like, boy, this nice here. And then I looked at the side window and saw the price. You asking how much for this thing? $85,000 for a GMC truck? you can hit that button and cut it off and lock it back up. Because as they worked out my deal, which I was like, I don't even know why I'm letting them work the deal out. Because they worked out my deal. The deal was about $5,000 to $10,000 down, depending on, and what was it, $1,900 a month car note, and that's not even including the insurance. I was like, what would I look like driving this truck up to my apartment? Did that make sense to you? Why would I want to drive this much truck up to an apartment that I don't own? That don't make sense to me. What you say, Bruce?
Good afternoon.
What's going on with you?
Same problems you got, I got.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, let's start at the top. Baton Rouge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the insurance commissioners. You know as well as I do how cheap insurance is in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Car insurance thing. Whose fault is the insurance so high? 3 of the insurance commissioners went to jail before Donnelly got up there.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yep.
All right. The governor, Cancer Alley. Do a little research and see who was sitting in that governor's office when they allowed all them chemical plants to come down here. Let's come down to New Orleans now.
Mm.
The mayor is in charge of the city. She appoints department heads. You take care of this, you take care of that, you take care of this. All right? Go back and check on them and see how they're doing. How long do you say your lights have been out by your apartment?
My lights been out?
Yeah, you said you don't have no lights by where you live, right?
No, I didn't say that.
I thought you did.
No, we're talking about the street lights.
Okay, how long have they been out?
Huh?
How long have they been out?
Oh, they've been out for months.
All right. So the problem is, it's leadership checking up on their workers, right? You have a supervisor at your job. If you're not doing right, they'll start telling you, right? Everybody has to be held accountable. Everybody.
Mm-hmm. But
now the light.
But let me ask you this, Bruce.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is something that if you solve this, you might win $1 million a day. And that one person that makes that decision, who would be the one that says, okay, I'm going to hold you accountable? Who would that person be? Would that be the mayor? Would that be the governor? Would that be the
She's
auditor?
the boss.
Who?
She's the boss of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
She's in charge the call center. She's in charge of public works. She's in charge the sewage and water board, right?
Yep.
They all got boards, right?
Yep.
She sits on them, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But it's a state entity too.
True.
Okay.
Sewage and water board is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what about the other boards?
Which one?
But that's why they want to consolidate where they can't keep passing the buck. You know as well as I do, when you go home, your city is a lot better off than the city you live in, right? You even said, right?
I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. So yeah, but I will
Okay.
I will agree with you. Yes.
The lights on the bridge are to spruce up our city. They say, well, why do it now when the Super Bowl's coming? It should have been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The lights on the bridge are done. You have to accept that.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if 500 people say they don't want it. It's there. Live with it.
Mm-hmm.
There are worse problems that this city has. You talk about the school buses don't have air conditioning. Whose fault is that? Who hires those school buses?
School board.
All right. Why don't they have it? How much money do you think is just sitting around in this city? Carl Galvin knows all the money sitting around. How much money do you think goes unspent in this city? A lot.
Yeah.
So we need to hold our leaders accountable. Like you said, they put signs out there in Lakeview, 6-hour streets. They should be going all over this city. Look, we got the Saints. We got Mardi Gras. We got Jazz Fest. We got French Quarter Fest. We got so much goes on in this city. We ought not ever be short on money. Would you agree pretty much to that?
Yep. Yep.
So where does it go?
Don't know.
All right. Let's go all the way back past Mitch, past Ray Nagin. Let's go all the way back as far as we can. Let's start with Dutch Morial. That's when I came back to the city. Love Dutch. Me and Mark was okay. Let's move forward. Has this city changed that much in the last 35, 40 years?
Nope. I would say nope, but again, I would be wrong by saying that because I wasn't here during that time.
It hasn't changed an awful lot. How long have we been talking about the Sewage and Water Board flooding all the time?
Did it?
It does, don't it?
No, I mean back in those days. Did it?
Yeah. You know, you talk about buying you even said it, buy one of them generators or whatever they turbines 1 year, the next year you're in, buy another one. It's called leadership. You gave the solution several times, but it falls on deaf ears.
Every year I would buy new, because we need what? We need 6 of them?
Well, whatever. You know, we're an old city,
Every
and
year
a lot of other
I
things.
buy a new one.
Yeah.
I buy a new
So
one
take
for
care of the
installation.
things. Put priorities on things. How long the street lights, the red light cameras, the red lights have been out. You know, we have to do better with our politicians. We have to hold them more accountable. You know, somebody told me one time, and it's doggone shame, because I know a lot of politicians. If you recognize the name, don't vote for that person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to
Yeah.
be interesting to see what we're going to do next year. Well, we're going
Yeah.
to be interested to see what we're going to do for November 5th. So,
Well, I know what they're going to do. Trump ain't going to get in. He got no chance. The only way Trump could have got in if Biden would have stayed in. Trump ain't got a shot.
don't be surprised.
Have a good one.
Don't be surprised. All right, Bruce.
Okay, good.
Thank you, buddy. Talk to you later. All right. 504-582-9422. So, let me go back to what he was talking about. The disparities between a city, the way that it's handled compared to. And I do think sometimes that we are lost in a quagmire. We get lost in the gumbo. We get lost in the soup. Well, why are you saying it like that? I'm doing this one. Hey, Melanie, I'm doing this for you, baby. Yep, this one for you, Melanie. And she laughing right now. I'm saying this because if you look at the city, if you look at New Orleans, if you look at the general area, and I don't know if anybody else have ever thought about it this way, but it's almost like we stuck in time. It's like the earth stopped turning for New Orleans, but it's turning for everything around New Orleans. Y'all think about something. Answer this for me. When has there been a development for a new neighborhood of homes in New Orleans? Affordable homes, not no English Turn. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking bad about English Turn. I'm talking about affordable homes. For somebody that's making $50, $60, $70, $80 to $100,000 a year, and maybe even getting help if you are a $30,000, $38,000 person. When has there been a development of homes, affordable homes, in New Orleans? And where? How long ago? Can't tell me it can't be done. They do it in Jefferson Parish. Oh, they doing one now in Jefferson Parish. I just saw it. The lady got a Facebook page and everything. Hi, how are you all? Good. I just want to bring up the fact that we're showing and bringing out these different people to show you homes. I'm like, they got another one? It's in Avondale. They're using their land. We got land. And don't we have a house problem? Homes? Hi. Just in case you're looking for a new home, we're going to show you the land and we'll build it for you. Went out to Mississippi. Got out the car, pulled up. Dude walked out. Man, what's going on, brother? Good to meet you. So I'm so and so. And we built this whole property. It's a development of homes. Let me walk you through it. I was like, all right, three bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage, front and backyard. And by the way, this house is going to cost you probably a little bit more in the next couple of months here because, you know, we're letting them go for $230. $230? Really? Yep. I said, how much is the insurance? Because, you know, I'm waiting for somebody to tell me the insurance is going to be another $5,000 to $6,000 on top of it. He's like, nah, about $1,200 a month. $1,200 a year, I mean. All right, really? Right, yep. It's like, what are we missing? What are we? It's like we stuck. It's like the earth stopped turning. What happened? And why are we putting ourselves in that position to say, okay, cool. We stopped turning and we're just stuck. I'm tired of being stuck. So when I did go home, and that's why I said I had to address this for Bruce. When I did go home, I got home, and I was watching the governor make a news conference inviting people that might be in other parts, because they have television stations there, and they've reached into Virginia. And it was like, folks can, apply for these new positions. And I'm like, what are they talking about? My sister sat down and she said, oh, yeah, by the way, the colleges here are meeting with the business community because they get the information about what's to come and how they're going to try to get these different corporations to move to Raleigh-Durham. And what they do is they train you before they even get there. So when the corporation comes, they already have their workforce. And I think I told y'all, they even, when Joe Biden got on the television for the DNC and started talking about making the chips for computers and all the different car manufacturers and all of that, that's Raleigh-Durham, right down the street. Because not only are they building the plant, the colleges started their electronics and said, okay, cool, we're going to teach these people how to do the chips, how to make them. And we already have a workforce ready to roll. So that's why I said I think that we get stuck behind bullcrap because we don't do we are not preparing for corporations to bring any type of industry to New Orleans except gas and oil and culinary, which to me is not sustainable income. Now, gas and oil might be for those that are out there at these different plants, but your life on the line, you know, if you at a chemical plant, next thing you know, you'd ingested or inhaled some of that stuff, and 20 years later, you walking around shaking like a loose cannon, and they're wondering what's wrong with you. Oh, yeah, I got all that stuff in my lungs. Think about it. Let's take the break. We'll be right back.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to send a huge shout out to our teachers, school leaders, and students in NOLA Public Schools. We see you, we hear you, and we applaud your efforts. Be sure to tune in every Monday at 12:30 p.m. on 12:30 a.m. for Talk That NOLA Education.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
I love New Orleans, but frankly, it's becoming more and more difficult to live here, and that's a damn shame. This is a beautiful city. The people are gracious and hospitable. They deserve much better than the service they're getting from their city government. What chaps my ass, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, is the chronic dysfunction of our infrastructure maintenance. The situation is so bad that New Orleans was featured in a recent report on National Public Radio as a broken city. As an example of the pathetic maintenance service, the National Public Radio report compared our city to Memphis, Louisville, and Miami, where it only takes anywhere from 5 days to a couple of weeks to get a pothole refilled. While in New Orleans, citizens wait on average up to 355 days for a pothole to be refilled. Now, folks, that's a year. Just by this one example, one could argue that it appears the city has abandoned public works. Not to mention the number of traffic lights that aren't working for months at a time. To make matters worse, the city public works department has to hire outside contractors for needed repair jobs because the department doesn't have enough workers. Ironically, it's not unusual for contractors to turn down working for the city because of past conflicts regarding payment. National Public Radio reached out to Mayor LaToya Cantrell's office for some answers, but says they got no response. Former Mayor Mark Morial was interviewed. He told National Public Radio that the problem with the lack of infrastructure maintenance in New Orleans appears to be a management and leadership issue. To be fair to city leaders, New Orleans is built on a swamp, which leaves us facing a constant challenge from flooding and soil subsidence. But come on, man, surrounding areas are faced with the same challenges and somehow still manage to handle infrastructure repairs. These are basic services, folks. And as far as I'm concerned, that should be our top priority. Potable water, roads, bridges, lights, to me, are number one on my list of priorities. I get it that we're putting on a full court press to make a good impression for the tourists expected to flood the city for the Super Bowl. But damn it, what about those of us who live here? What about putting on a full court press for us? This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official
The
rules.
New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, an on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
New Schools for New Orleans and Greater New Orleans, Inc. is hosting the second annual NOLA STEM Summit for educators across the New Orleans region, Thursday, September 12th. Registration is free. Visit newschoolsforneworleans.org to learn more and sign up.
All right, folks. We straight up at 4 o'clock. We'll be back tomorrow to have some more conversation with you. That's going to wrap it up for me. Appreciate y'all for being a part of it. The world famous one, the one that makes all the people go, yay, because he has a Lifetime Achievement Award, too. Ro Brown coming in just a minute, so we'll have some conversation with the sports report. I'll see y'all tomorrow. 68-32, that's what the folks are saying. 68% of you are saying no, you do not feel good about this lighting project on the Crescent City Connection. 32% of you are saying yeah. So that's the poll. Other than that, we'll see you tomorrow. Y'all be careful, and we'll talk tomorrow right here on WBOK.
From the campus of Xavier University.
Yeah.
WBOK 1230 AM.
Go.
An Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information.